Hello, everyone. A very good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you to the College of Humanities and Sciences and to the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences here at NUS. Thank you very much for joining us this morning for this orientation program. It's an exciting time for all of you. I hope you're a little bit excited at least. My name is Mark. I'm a Student Support Manager here at FASS. We'll hear a bit more about what I do later. But this morning, we want to help to guide you through and help to set you up a little bit for, at the very least, the next month or two of your life, of the beginning of your life here at FASS, but ideally also help you to start to navigate and think about the next 4 years or so of your life here at NUS, to think about the things that you can do, the exciting possibilities and opportunities that there are for you as students at FASS. Okay, so very quickly, in the morning, we're going to be looking at faculty level issues and concerns. So things like your curriculum, the CourseReg system, careers, wellness, and your own safety. And then in the afternoon, we are looking at various department programming. So you can go around the campus and find out more. There is a short link there that you can access. You can scroll to the bottom, find yourself the map, and download a copy of the map so that you can get around FASS, which is can be a slightly complicated place to get around sometimes. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. It's an exciting time, and we are so very happy to have all of you here. To start us off today, we are going to have our Dean, Professor Lionel Wee, to address us. So, Prof. Wee, please.
Thank you. I'll just keep this very brief. So as Mark pointed out, we have various talks at the faculty level to give you some sense of what to expect in terms of the common curriculum, in terms of course registration. Then later on, there'll be talks and discussions at the department level. I want to basically emphasize a number of things on a more personal note. I sincerely believe, and this is based on my own experience here as a student, I know many decades ago, but I don't think these things have changed. I sincerely believe it is possible to do very well in your studies here, but at the same time, enjoy yourself. And I don't mean the two as two separate activities, in the sense that you go through your lectures and your tutorials and you enjoy yourself doing something else. I really sincerely believe it is possible to enjoy your lectures and your tutorials, your readings, your studies. But to do that, when you look at all the different courses there, I would advise you to keep in mind two things. One, choose those courses that interest you. That is paramount. Don't choose something just because you feel you're obligated to. Okay? Make sure you choose something that you're interested in, because again, I speak from personal experience that I chose courses that I was interested in, and I never found anything I did was a chore. I went for my lectures, my assignments, always feeling that I was learning something exciting and new and really blowing my mind. So choose stuff that you're interested in. And related to that, what you will know, and some of you have already been told about this, right, is that when you are asked to declare your major at the beginning of each semester, you're not obligated to stick to it. That's why you can declare and change what you're interested in. We know people's interests evolve over time. So look at things they're interested in now, and as you experience the courses, you may find that some of your interests may change, or some of them may actually be strengthened. And you can reflect that when you indicate your major the next time around. The only cap, as we pointed out in the past, is that by your 5th semester or so, you should settle on what your major is going to be, because you need to make sure you meet the requirements to graduate on time. Okay? So focus and prioritize on what your interests are, but be aware, and the faculty is designed in such a way that when your interests do change, they can be accommodated. The other thing to keep in mind, of course, is that for many people who are interested in subjects, I know I met many students who are very passionate about, let's say, wanting to do psychology or to do history, and then they feel like, why am I being forced to delay getting into these courses, why do I have to go through the common curriculum? So again, do not feel that the common curriculum is something that you must get out of the way before you can start doing the stuff you're interested in. Already in the very first semester in your first year, you can do some of the courses you're interested in, but the common curriculum is intended and designed in such a way that it will help to reinforce the stuff you're interested in. So if you're interested in, let's say, in economics or psychology, one of the things you'll be doing will be a course on social sciences. And the social science course will give you a grounding into what it means to be thinking like a social scientist. And likewise, if you're interested in literature or history, think about the kinds of things you're encountering when you do a course on the humanities. So please do not treat these things as things that you need to get out of the way as quickly as possible. They are very important and useful because they give you a broader insight into the courses that you ultimately want to major in. All right? I think I said more than enough. The main thing really is for you to go around basically and spend today just trying to see what are the kinds of things that are available to you in a very diverse faculty and decide on what interests you, knowing, as I have already mentioned, that that expression of interest doesn't mean you're locked into it. People change, people evolve, their interests evolve, and the faculty is designed to cater to that. So have a great day, and once again, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Prof. Wee. Now, before we jump into the meaty talks, just a reminder that this morning we're looking at some of the faculty level concerns. You can have a look at the program. You might also want to get your devices out to grab a copy of the map so that you can get around after this morning's session. You might also want to have your devices ready and with you because the Q&A sessions will be done also online. So there'll be QR codes that you can scan and ask your questions. So ask them freely. And if there is no time to answer everything, please feel free to approach also approach the speakers and ask them the questions that you have. Okay. So for now, we will be passing the time to Prof. Joseph Park and Associate Prof. Wang Yi Chen to talk about the introduction to the CHS and the FASS curriculum. Prof. Park and Prof. Wang, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wang Yi Chen, and together with Prof. Joseph Park, we'll be talking about curriculum-related matters in the next 40 minutes or so. So Mark just asked you to take out your device, right? Because at the beginning, we have this QR code for you to scan. I know I haven't talked about anything yet, but we thought that we'll put up the QR code here so that you can scan. And if you have any question, you can just put it in along the way, okay? And we'll also be showing the QR code at the end of it, so don't worry if you are not scanning it now. Yeah. So we'll be covering today three main components. First is related to curriculum requirements and also program options. And then we'll move on to grading system and finally other important rules. I see most of you put down the phone, so should finish the scanning of that. Okay. So first of all, we're going to familiarize you with the terminologies, especially academic terminologies, because you will be seeing these terms coming out through the slides. So course, so it's like giving a definition first. So course basically is a subject of study. You'll be doing a lot of courses through your time with us, and it has a unique course code. So such as what you're looking at here, HS 1000, GE 2215. So this course code has 2 or 3 letter prefix that denotes the discipline. So HS, you will see a lot of courses start with HS when you're doing our common curriculum, because that represents HS. humanities and social science. No, humanities and science. Okay, so you'll be a lot of our common curriculum actually have HS to start with. And the first digit of the letters indicates the level. So 1,000 means it's level 1,000 course, 2215 means it's level 2,000 courses. And then we also have unit. You're also hearing me mentioning units throughout the talk. The unit means that's the workload. And for one unit, we see that it's about 2.5 hours of workload. So most of our courses have 4 units, which means 4 times 2.5 is 10 hours of work. So that means we expect you put in 10 hours of work per week. You may think, wow, 10 hours of work, what do I do with it? That includes lectures, tutorial, and also your preparation reading, and also doing the assignment. So that's 10 hours of work, yeah. 4 units for most of our courses. And some of the courses you may see that has prerequisite. So if a course B has course A as the prerequisite, that means you need to complete course A in order to take course B. Because that provides a base knowledge for course B. So that's what prerequisite means. There may be also some courses that have preclusion because they have similar emphasis. So for example, if course C has the preclusion of course D, that means you cannot take both courses together because they have similar emphasis. And all of you have your primary major, or in short, we call it major. I hope you have declared your major, but like what Prof. Wee mentioned, you can also change it if you find something else more interesting to you. So all students will have one primary major, or at least one primary major. We'll talk about double degree later. This will lead to a bachelor's degree with honors after you complete all the graduation requirement, which requires 160 units for that. And then there's also second major. Now, second major and also minor here, these are optional. So second major here, if you want to dip into another subject, another discipline with more, and also broaden your competency and also knowledge, then you can consider a second major. So the requirement is at least 40 units. So if you do the math, one course is about 4 units, 40 units, that means you take another 10 courses related to that discipline or that subject to fulfill the second major requirement. So minor is an area you take outside your major. So this is also optional, and the requirement is 20 units, so that's 5 courses. So you will need be reading 5 courses within the minor requirement program. Okay, so all the students admitted here, you are all on this 4-year direct honors program. So after doing your 4 years of study, fulfill all the graduation requirements. Depending on your primary major, it may lead you to Bachelor of Arts, which is BA with honors, or Bachelor of Social Science with honors. So depending on your primary major. So there's no more 3 years of BA or Bachelor of Social Science without honors. You're all on this 4-year honors program. So what are our graduation requirements? Remember I mentioned earlier that there's 160 units, which is about equivalent to 40 courses of that. So this graduation requirement consists of these 3 pie charts that has 3 colors here. So we have the CHS common curriculum, these 13 courses, 52 units. So this is what all the CHS students will be doing. And we'll be looking at what these 13 courses are in the next slide. And then we also have major requirement. A major requires you to do 15 courses to fulfill the major. And you see this gray pie chart here. This means unrestricted elective, or in short, we call it UE. So this is 12 courses. You can do any other courses outside your major, outside the CHS common curriculum to fulfill the UE requirement. But within this UE, because it requires 12 courses, so it's within this UE you can think about if you want to do a second major, which needs 10 courses, or maybe you want to do a minor, which is 5 courses, or even 2 minors, because 2 minors is 5 times 2 is 10 courses, right? So you can still be within this UE here. As for double degree, it's for students that do 2 majors from 2 different degree types. So what does different degree types mean? For example, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Social Science, Bachelor of Science, these are different degree types. So you need to read majors from these different degree types. But we have more slides on double degree later on, so we'll talk about that later. Now we'll focus on CHS common curriculum, so zooming more into this blue pie chart here. So within our CHS common curriculum, there are also 3 main components, which includes common core courses, have design thinking, artificial intelligence, data literacy, these courses. And then there's also integrated courses, 5 of them. So you see all these integrated courses, scientific inquiry, and also 2 interdisciplinary courses. So all these 13 courses here are providing you fundamental essential skills and also an introduction to interdisciplinarity. So it's providing the foundation for you. So when do you take these courses? As Prof. we mentioned earlier, before that I'll talk about these first. When you look at the slides here, did you notice the font is a little bit different for some of the courses? Some is like italic, right? Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure you're awake. Yeah. So some of the fonts are italic, and there are 6 of them that are in italic font. I didn't just put it for no reason, okay? So those in italic font, maybe it's not that clear. Maybe next time we'll think about something else to highlight them. So there's community engagement, data literacy, these, and all the free integrated courses, these are in italic font. I do it for some purpose because these 6 courses also enable you to fulfill the general education requirement. So for the whole university, we have the general education requirement. That's all the student needs to fulfill. And there are 6 pillars for the general education pillars. So the orange and blue boxes here shows the different general education pillars. And doing our CHS curriculum automatically enable you to fulfill the general education requirement. So like what you saw earlier, there's free integrated courses, right? So those free integrated courses automatically map to the general education pillar of culture and connection, critique and expression, and so on. And then we also have data literacy, basket of courses from CHS for data literacy and digital literacy, which when you take courses from these baskets from CHS, it also help you to fulfill the general education pillar. And then there's also a list of courses for community and engagement. Yeah. So by doing the common curriculum of CHS, you also fulfill the university general education requirement. And this is just a sample study plan, and we must highlight the sample. It doesn't mean that everybody else will do the same because this example is for one primary major, and some of you may be doing something else. But I hope something you notice is that, I know it looks very complicated, but there's actually a system here, okay? So you have 4 years, 8 semesters, right? You see different color coding. So there's like blue, and then the middle is like orange, pinkish kind of color, and then also the gray color, right? This corresponds to the 3 components we have for the earlier pie chart we showed you. So the blue one shows the CHS common curriculum. Orange means those are the major, and remember, major needs 15 courses. That's why it ends with 15. And then you have UE space, 12 courses for you to do it. Yeah. So you'll notice that in the first year, there seems to be more blue cells because that's when you'll do the CHS common curriculum. And you will also notice that there are some orange border around some of the cells, right? Those means those are the courses we pre-allocated to you. So pretty much in your first semester, second semester of the first year, we have pre-allocated, we have planned out the courses for you to take. Now this is because you're coming in, there's a lot of things to adjust, a lot of things to explore. So we plan out the courses for you to take most of the common curriculum. You can use your time to think about what are the other majors or other minors you want to take later on to fulfill your UE requirement. Okay, so take those fundamental courses first, and we have planned it out for you for the first year. And then the second thing I want to highlight is that for year 3, you also notice interdisciplinary courses, 2 in year 3. That's why we recommend that you take the interdisciplinary courses later on, perhaps from year 3 onwards, because those are teaching contents from 2 or 3 disciplines. So it's better you have some foundations of some other fundamental courses before you move on to take the interdisciplinary courses. And the final thing I want to highlight here is that there's also these community engagement courses. Depending on the type of courses you take, some can be 1 semester, some can be 1 year. So although, like I said, this is a study plan, right? We put it in the timeline here, but you may want to consider to take it in semester 1 because you are doing a 1-year community engagement course. So it depends on the year you take, okay? So a sample study plan for your consideration. Some of you may also be in the other spatial program or in a residential college. Any of you? Don't be shy. Okay, I see some hands, so I'll be talking a little bit about this. So what you're looking at here is that you see the cross sign. So that means your spatial program or your college have the courses that allows you to fulfill the CHS common curriculum requirement. So, for example, if you are a student from RVRC, then those in the cross sign means that you will be taking your own college course to fulfill these rows of requirement. But those that are empty, that means you will be taking the CHS common curriculums from CHS. So for more information, you should also check with your college and spatial program for the requirement. Within these 160 units, 40 courses, there are really multiple pathways and different kind of freedom and also flexibility for you to do it. So you can just do 1 major and then do all the other courses as UE to fulfill it, the requirement. But like I mentioned earlier, you can also use that UE to do perhaps a 2nd major or 1 minor or even 2 minors to fulfill the degree requirement. If you're a little bit more ambitious and then want to do more, then you can also consider 2 majors from 2 different degree types, which lead to double degree at the end of that. So what are the primary majors we offer? So I'll be going through some lists of primary major, 2nd major, and also minor. So we offer 5 primary majors from these 5 broad discipline areas, from Asian studies, humanities, social science, and also cross-disciplinary programs. So within Asian studies, these are the 6 majors we offer. And by doing 1 of them, you will be leading to a Bachelor of Arts, BA degree. Humanities, these are the 6 majors we offer. And again, by doing them, you'll also be leading to a Bachelor of Arts degree. And then social science, we have 8 majors here. And doing 1 of them, you'll be leading to Bachelor of Social Science degree. And these are from the science, which I'll skip quickly. And then for the 2nd major, so all the primary major that we offer from FASS you saw previously, you can also pursue it as a 2nd major. Okay, so all the FASS primary major, you can pursue them as a 2nd major. For FOS, it's pretty much similar, but they do have 1 or 2 more as the 2nd major option here. As for the minors, we have a lot of different minors because this is an additional area you take outside of your major. So there are a lot of other more choices. So broadly, we can say we have minors. They are subject minors. A lot of language related, which are also quite popular among the students if you want to enhance your language capability. And there are also multidisciplinary minors like art history, gender studies, geographic information system, urban studies. This requires training from more than 1 discipline. So it's multidisciplinary minors. So really a lot of choice for you to explore. So that's why, going back to my earlier comment, right, we planned it out the first year for you because there's a lot of thinking about what you want to do in year 2, 3, 4 with all these different options. For FOS, these are the minors they offer, and we also jointly offer with FOS for 2 minor programs, aquatic ecology and also geosciences. So apart from primary major, we also offer cross-disciplinary programs. These are direct admission, so some of you should already be in these programs. So these programs are PPE, BES, and also data science. I think they do take in midstream admission, but you have to check their requirement, okay, if you want to think about this program. Again, look into their different websites for the requirement. Now onto the double degree program. So double degree, we keep emphasizing these must be majors from 2 different degree types. So you cannot do 2 majors, both allow you to get Bachelor of Arts. No, that won't be double degree. That will be only double major for that. Yeah. So for the types of double degree program, or DDP we refer to, there are structured DDP and also student design DDP. So what does structure mean? Everything, of course, is structural, okay? But structure means that we already plan out, we already design the curriculum for you. And you'll see some example in the next slide. As for student design, that means if you don't find those structural consists of the combination you like to read, then you can also initiate. As for the possible track, you can do it within CHS, because we do have different degree types, right? We have Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Social Science, Bachelor of Science. Or you can do it with another department outside CHS. And again, we'll see some examples in the next couple of slides. So first of all, the structural DDP. So these are the 7 structural DDP. Mostly have economics and some other disciplines of training. So like economics and law, communication, and new media with business administration. So these structural DDP already have the curriculum planned out. So if you're interested in, I think, again, some of you are already admitted, but if you're interested, you can also look into what are the requirements, what kind of courses they offer. Okay, so this has been designed. That's why we call it structured. As for student-initiated, you're also welcome to do so, but do remember this must be from 2 different degree types. Okay, so the degree types we mentioned just now, there are 3 degree types within CHS. So if you do it within CHS, these are some possible combinations. For example, life science and social work, they will lead you to Bachelor of Science and also Bachelor of Social Science. So these are 2 different degree types. And as for student design DDP outside CHS, so you can also do it with another faculty. So the link here shows you those, if you want to do it with CDE, which is School of Design and Environment, then what kind of options are available. And if you want to do it with School of Computing, History with Computer Science, that would be FASS and School of Computing. Now, for those of you interested in digital humanities, now that may be some sort of double degree options that you want to think about. Yeah. So you can see there's a lot of different combinations and options available. That's why we put up a link here. But I think what you want to remember is that if you remember to search for FASS Spatial Degree Program, you type it in, this should be the link that comes up quite up from your search results. So those check out those websites because they have more detailed information about the DDP. But something we want to highlight is that for all the double degree program, it needs to go through the application process. So it's not like, you read a course and automatically you will get it. Because these are double degree, it may actually take 4.5 years or even 5 years to complete because you are now needing to require the 2 degree of the requirement. Okay, so we want to make sure you're ready. So there's an application process involved. So this is different from if you're reading a second major or a minor, where you can just go ahead to read the courses and declare the minor later on, that's fine. But for the double degree, you must go through the application process and it's subject to the approval for that. Okay, and the last thing I want to share is concurrent degree program. So this means that you are concurrently doing a bachelor degree and also master degree, pursuing a bachelor and also master degree together. So usually if you do a bachelor degree and also a master degree, that requires 4 + 2 years, which is 6 years. But by doing it together, you can usually finish it within 5 years. So the options available are, if you're majoring in psychology, then there's CDP in psychology. And if you're majoring in economics, political science, sociology, social work, and also PPE, then there's this CDP option with FASS and LKY-SPP. So this is School of Public Health. So there's another CDP option for that. Yeah. So again, if you're interested in this, you can type in these program names and just find out more information about that. Yeah. So that'll be all from me, and then I'll hand over to Prof. Park.
Okay. So now I'll talk briefly about the grading system. Which is kind of important because it has implications for various different things you're going to go through. So basically, whenever you take a course, you get these grades, which get converted into grade points. So starting from A+, it's all the way down to F. Okay. So these are the grades you will get usually from most of the courses you take, right? And there are some other kind of grades you may receive on the right-hand side. Okay. So these ones do not have grade points like the A+ to F, right? So for, just to briefly go through these, so in your transcript, for example, you might get a, something like EXC or exempted, right? So this is awarded when you're exempted from taking a course, but you just still get credit for that course, right? And IC, it means incomplete. So for some kind of reason, you know, there's some kind of medical accident or something like that, so you cannot complete the course and you get some special consideration for that, then it might see IC, right? And IP means the course is still in progress, right? So for some reason, at the end of the semester, you will not be able to get a grade, but you'll get a grade in the beginning of the subsequent semester. So IP would eventually be replaced by a letter grade on the left-hand side, right? And S and U means satisfactory and unsatisfactory, right? So I'll briefly explain this later, but S simply means that you basically passed the course, and unsatisfactory means that you didn't pass the course, right? But it doesn't have a grade point, right? So we'll get back to what the implication for SU a little bit more. So CS and CU are the same as satisfactory, unsatisfactory, but these are for courses that are specifically determined as non-gradable, right? So there are some courses that don't give you these kind of grades on the left-hand side to begin with, right? So in those cases, you would only receive a CS or a CU. If you pass, you get a CS, and you don't pass, then you get a CU, right? And W means that you withdrew from the course before the ending of the semester, okay? All right, so these are the different kind of grades you could get for each course you take, and this is what will show up for every course on your transcript, right? The importance of the no grade point category is that because it doesn't have a grade point, it will not have an impact on your grade point average, right? Which is a kind of an important number through which we track your academic progress, right? So GPA, the grade point average, basically is a kind of a weighted average of the grade point you have given the units assigned to each course, right? So you kind of multiply the course grade and the number of units for that course, and then divide it, and then you add that number for all the courses you took, and then you divide it by the number of units all the units that you've taken so far, right? So to give you an example, let's say in your first 2 semesters, you have taken these 10 courses and you get grades like this, right? So some courses most courses have 4 units, like SHI 1000, right? But let's say some courses are 5, right? Okay, and you get a grade for each of the courses, and then you get a grade point of all of those according to the table that I just showed you, right? So in order to calculate your GPA at the end of semester 2, you kind of multiply this number and this number for all of your courses, right? So basically there are kind of 5 courses for you to get, right? So you kind of multiply these together and add all of them up, right? Okay, and this is the total number of units that you've taken, right? So you took 7 courses, which are worth of 4 units, and 1 course that is a 5 unit, and 1 course that is 2 units. So you add all the number of units up, and you divide it, then your GPA will be 3.13, something like this, right? So as you can see, how, for example, if you get an F, for instance, and you get, because that's a 0, then if you get an F, that kind of drags your GPA down, for instance, right? Okay. So this is the GPA. And the GPA is important because, as I said earlier, this is by which we track your academic progress, right? So in order to continue with your study and move up to graduation, you need to maintain at least a GPA of 2.0, okay? So if somebody falls below 2.0, then the student will place on probation. And if you are fall below 2.0 twice, then you will get dismissed, right? So you don't want to, so this is why the GPA is important. First reason why is kind of GPA is important, right? Because you do want to kind of continue in with your studies, and if you get below 2.0, then, then you get dismissed, okay? And also, GPA is also the kind of criteria for the honors classification that you will receive, right? So now we have honors, highest distinction, and honors distinction, and honors merit, honors, and pass, right? And these are determined by the grade point average that you received, as you see on the right-hand side, right? So for these reasons, the GPA is very important, right? So you do want to kind of manage your GPA carefully, okay? However, we also understand that this kind of brings a lot of stress to many students, right? Because, oh, what if I do well in this course and my GPA drops, right? People are constantly worrying about that. So that's why NUS has this what's called the grade-free scheme, right? So basically what this means is that you get something called the SU option, okay? So basically, after taking the course, once you receive a letter grade, such as an A or B minus or whatever, you can choose to exercise the SU option so that that course can be converted into either a S or a U, right? So basically, as I'll say a little bit more, as long as you get a D and above, you'll get an S, and you'll get a F for that course, you'll get a U, right? But as I said earlier, because S and U do not have the grade points assigned to them, that course will not affect your GPA, right? So let's say even if you get an F for the course, you'll get a U, but that will not drag your GPA down, right? So you can exercise up to 32 units, that's your option for up to 32 units in the first 2 regular semesters. So basically, if each course is around 4 units, that means up to 8 courses, you can exercise the SU option for the first year. And if you don't exhaust the 32 units, then you can still use the remaining units, up to 12 units, for subsequent semesters as well, right? Okay, so the objective of this SU option, or the grade-free scheme, is for you to be able to take many different courses without being too worried about your grade points, okay? So if you ask me, actually the grade points in the longer scheme of your career and your life, the grade points that you received are actually not that important, right? So what is important is more what you learn about your own field and yourself and the world around you. So even though, as I said earlier, we do track your progress based on the GPA, so therefore the GPA does have an impact on things, I do want to encourage you to take a kind of longer perspective and not be worried too much about the specific grades you get, but focusing on your learning itself, right? And the grade-free scheme is supposed to aid you in that, right? So for instance, you might want to explore some new course and new field that you haven't experienced before, right? But you might be worried, well, this is a course I never tried before. What if I do bad in this course and that affects my grades, right? you don't have to worry about that because you have the grade-free scheme, right? So if you take that course and it ended up that you tried hard, but you just got a D, then you don't have to worry about it because you can just exercise the SU option, right? So the goal for this is to allow you to explore different options without worrying too much about the consequences, right? This is not, the existence of the SU option does not mean that you have to exercise the SU option for everything that's not an A, right? If you did a B, that's still not a bad grade, actually, right? But some students worry that, oh, as long as everything is not an A, then I might be in trouble. No, that's not the case, right? So please do not think of the grade-free scheme as kind of pressuring you to boost up your GPA, right? But simply as a safety net in case you try something new and you don't do well, okay? So that's the mindset I'd like you to have, right? So basically to go to more detail, as I said, if you exercise the SU option, any course you have a D grade or above will be assigned a S grade, right? And that will not be factored into the GPA computation, right? And the course you take in, receive the S grade, will count towards your degree completion requirements. So for example, it's a course that is required for your degree, right? Or your major, then it will count as completing that requirement, right? Anything lower than a D grade, so basically F, that'll be converted into a U grade. And it will not factored into the GPA competition, right? But this will not count as a pass. So if this course happens to be something that's required for your major degree requirement, for instance, then you will have to retake the course, right? But the important thing is that it will not drag your GPA down, right? Okay, so the GPA, the grade-free scheme cannot be applied for anything. There are certain courses that can be applied to. So it can be applied to all level 1,000 courses and level 2,000 courses, which does not have another course as a prerequisite, right? And then all all language courses you can take through the Center for Language Studies. At all levels, you can exercise the SU option. But there are some courses that cannot be cannot use the SU option for. Okay. Again, I said all level 2,000 courses, which has a prerequisite, right? And all level 3,000 and above courses, right? And then all these kind of different things. So the important thing is that, for example, if you if you get an F because, for instance, you committed plagiarism or something like that, then you cannot exercise the SU option and those kind of things, right? Okay. So there's limitations to that, okay? An important thing is when can you exercise this SU option, right? So a very important thing is that we give you ample opportunities to do this, right? So you don't have to exercise the option before you get the grade. You can exercise it after you get the grade, right? And there's 2 times in which you can do this. Well, one is at the end of the semester, right? Another comes at the end of the academic year, right? So you do have enough time, to think about whether you want to exercise this option or not after you receive the your grades, right? Okay. So please. But there is a given deadline. And once the deadline is passed, you cannot exercise the SU option retroactively, right? And also once exercised, it will be irrevocable, right? So therefore, you do have to pay close attention to the deadlines and kind of apply for it, right? So you will get information on when these deadlines are, and you'll get reminders of these through your communications by the Office of the University Registrar. Okay, and the information will also be posted on the student portal and Canvas. So do please pay close attention to these deadlines. And also, in order to make informed decisions about the SU option, please feel free to talk to your peers and seniors, your academic advisors, and administrators from your department and school and so forth, right? There is also this brief article by the provost, which is kind of briefly discusses this significance of this SU option, okay? All right, so I'll quickly go through several other kind of important things you need to bear in mind, right? So first, the qualifying English test. So FAS 1101 is a writing course that all CHS, all FAS students need to take, right? But some of you would have been invited to take the qualifying English test, or the QET, right? So based on the QET, if you're placed on band 1 or 2, you would need to take 1 or 2 courses before enrolling in FAS 1101, right? So these courses are ES 1000 and ES 1103, right? So for those of you who need to take the qualifying English test, you would already have been kind of notified, right? So then you just need to go and take the test and kind of follow the kind of instructions, right? So, but do bear in mind that if you are required to take these courses, then you will take the FAS 1101 as a slightly later semesters, okay? Okay, so advanced placement credits. So some students, they will get advanced placement credits, right? So basically for poly diploma holders, you will get advanced placement and exemption for 20 units that can be applied to the unrestricted elective category, right? So basically this means that because 20 units is up to 4 or 5 courses or 1 semester's worth work, you have the possibility of graduating within 3.5 years, right? But this doesn't mean that you have to graduate by the 3.5 years. You can still, if you want to, you can still use the unrestricted elective space to explore minors or just any courses or second majors and so forth, right? So you do have the option to graduate sooner if you want to, right? And these units will be automatically reflected in your student record by mid-September, okay? And also for students who took the H3 subjects, right? They will be granted 4 units that can be counted towards your major if your major is in that discipline for the H3, okay? Right. So for the 1,000 courses, there's a limit to how many courses you can take for them to count towards your graduation requirements, right? So you cannot take more than 60 units of 1,000 level courses and have it counted towards your graduation requirements, right? Okay, and there are some courses that you need to take that are excluded from this limit, right? So, but other than these courses, you need to keep track of how many 1,000 level courses you are taking and make sure you don't go above these units. Otherwise, those courses that you take will not count towards your graduation requirements, okay? Okay, and also we have a residency requirement. Basically means that certain number of courses you need to take from NUS, right? So let's say you go on exchange or something like that, and you take kind of more and more courses there, but at least 50% of your degree requirements must be completed within NUS, right? And for the major and second major and minor, at least 60% of your requirements must be completed within NUS, right? So that's the residency requirement, right? And very important thing, tuition fee policy, okay? We have what's called the normal candidature period, okay? So for students taking a single degree or joint degree program consisting of 160 units, the normal candidature period is 8 consecutive semesters, so basically 4 years, okay? And if you're doing a double degree program, then it becomes up to 10 consecutive semesters, right? Okay. So this normal candidature period is important because if you go beyond this normal candidature period, your tuition will go up, right? So basically, if you go each semester you go beyond, the tuition will, because your tuition is normally subsidized, right? Your tuition will keep going up, right? So that by the 3rd semester, after your normal candidature period, you will be paying the full kind of non-subsidized fees, right? So this is another important reason why you want to closely keep track of your academic progress so that you can make sure that you complete within the normal candidature period. Okay, so for more details, there's a web site for the registrar's office at the bottom. Okay? And the last point I want to emphasize are these kind of more general ideas about our own academic culture. Right? So at FASS, at NUS, we emphasize the students' own academic independence. Right? You are adults and university students now, and therefore, students, we expect you to be responsible for your own learning. Right? You're not students who need to be spoon-fed. You are students who came to the university for your own academic pursuits on your own kind of initiative, right? So we expect you to be responsible and take the initiative for your own learning, right? And the other one is respect. So we expect students to value others' opinions and viewpoints and experiences, right? So in the classroom, everybody with different cultural background and different life experience come together to exchange our ideas and thoughts in pursuit of knowledge and truth, right? So in that process, you'll necessarily experience and encounter with people with different opinions and viewpoints and so forth. So we are expected to respect and value others' experience and learn to collaborate across these differences, right? And finally, the most important thing is that we expect students to have full academic integrity and exercise academic honesty and abide by university regulations at all matters, right? NUS takes a very strict view against cheating and plagiarism and misconduct, right? So please make sure you understand the academic expectations for each course, right? So for instance, for each course, your instructors will give you share what are their expectations about, for instance, using artificial intelligence in submitting your essays and projects and so forth, right? So please abide by those expectations and what will be counted as kind of good academic behavior, right? So, and if you're unsure about anything, please ask rather than assuming it'll be okay to do this, right? So many cases when students are, brought up for some kind of academic misconduct, they often say that, well, I didn't know we're not supposed to do that. I didn't know I'm not supposed to continue writing after the exam is over or something like that, right? But that's not an excuse. You're supposed to know what is accepted and what is not accepted behavior. So therefore, we expect you to take the initiative to find out these regulations and behave accordingly to that, okay? All right, so that's all that we want to share. We have only a few minutes to answer any questions. But if you do have questions, please, you can continue scanning, kind of putting up your questions through this QR code, and we'll try to answer in the next few minutes. Okay. Start off. Can you? Okay. So we'll try to answer some of the questions. So yes, if you take more than 6 units of 1,000 modules, can you choose which grades to be counted in your GPA? I think you can do that, right? No? How is it? All the grades will be, but you cannot. GPA, but it doesn't count for the 1,000. Right. Yes, so the grades will be, all the grades you take, all the courses, the grades you take for the courses will be counted in your GPA. What I mean is that if you take more than 60 units of 1,000K, that number of units doesn't count towards the 160 units you need to take for the whole degree, right? So the grades you get for the 1,000 courses, even if it goes more than what you're allowed, that will still count. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, all right. So, okay.
Is it possible to take more than 160 units? Yes, it is possible, and especially if you do double degree, then you will usually exceed that. Yeah. Keep jumping. So for this question, it is a long question to understand. So I think quick answer is no, I don't think you can bid it because year one, semester one, as I mentioned, there are pre-allocated CHS courses and your own primary major course. Okay, so if you want to think about second major, you want to bid for the major, for the gateway course for the second major, I don't think you can do that in year one, semester one, okay? In case some of you still digesting that question. Yes, I think lecture one, that should mean only one lecture slot for that. But to check the timetable, I believe that's available from your Canvas or the official registration system.
So yes, for business management is a restricted double major in CHS. How do you fulfill the requirements to apply? So any kind of restricted major or restricted minor, you should go to the webpage of those majors and minors, and then they will kind of spell out the requirements for those restricted major and minor, right? So restricted major and minor is something, simply means that you cannot just sign up for that major and minor as we have for all the CHS majors, for instance, right? So for those, you need to check the web page for each of those different restricted major or minor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, sorry. Not all the slides will be shared with you. We will tell you later. For instance, the last presentation, today's slide, you will not be able to share with you.
Right.
But
So,
will be shared.
this one we will share, right?
Yes,
So for this talk, we will later share the slides somewhere. Yes.
And quite a lot of information are also available from CHS website. What if I want to take a restricted second major from another department? Can I declare it during the APD? We don't really have restricted second major, right? I mean, all the second majors you can just read, right? No. Okay. We have inside information.
So again, so when it says restricted major or minor, that means that you cannot just sign up through the APD system itself, right? So those you have to check what the requirements are, and usually we need to apply for that through the department that offers that restricted major or minor, okay?
If the modules are pre-allocated in the first end, does that mean we don't bid for lectures and tutorial? Right, you don't, we pre-allocated that for you. But tutorial, you do have to register yourself. I think there are multiple slots available. Yeah.
So are there any downsides for applying for APC? Yeah, so I mean, this is really up to you, right? So if your priority is to simply graduate sooner, then you would want to apply the APCs to kind of reduce the kind of time you need to fulfill the requirements. But then you don't have much time to fulfill, kind of make use of your unrestricted electives, right? So for instance, if you want to spend kind of, maximize your time at university and experience, different courses and take second majors and minors, then probably you don't want to exercise your APC, right? So the choice is up to you.
Are all the modules semester long? Most of them are semester long. And what are some modules with less than 4 credits? Less than 4 credits, some of the, I think, career-related courses are less than 4 units. There are also courses that are 8 units, like the thesis or field study courses. But most of them are semester long. But we do have 1 year long kind of course, like the community engagement that I mentioned earlier.
So how do we map courses for SCP or student exchange program, right? So normally when you go for student exchange and take a course, then you will kind of write back, submit an application for transfer of credits to your department, and your department SCP coordinator will determine how it kind of transfers back to existing course, or does it transfer back to a dummy course and so forth, something like that, right? So that's done on the department level. Yes.
Okay, the bidding of module, that part, Dr. Chen will be talking about that later. So related to this, if you intend to do primary major in econs, and when do you choose a second major in BBA? I think If it's a second major, then that's up to you when you want to determine that. But if it's double degree, then that's, I'm assuming the person is doing double degree? It was a double degree. It's double degree, not second major, right? Because second major and double degree are different. Second major means you take 10 courses. Double major means you take 15 courses for both majors. So if you're doing sorry?
Double degree.
Yeah, double degree, sorry, yeah. So if it's double degree, then it's usually 1 year later, but to check the DDP website because they have specific application window for that.
So those in RVRC, UTCP, and USC are also pre-allocated all 5 mods for first semester. So only for those that you need to take through CHS, right? So for those courses, you can fulfill through your own program's core curriculum. Then, of course, that would not be pre-allocated to you. Yes. Okay, so for overseas opportunities, does the school look at my GPA before SU or after? I guess the SU comes, we're pretty much right after the end of the semester, right? So I guess that we'll be looking at the one after the SU, right? So basically, if you take the exercise the SU option, then you can consider that existing grade gone. We'll just look at the SU.
Is it benefit to do a double major or just do a major and minor? I think that really depends on how much you want to learn from that subject. So, of course, if you do double major, you are doing at least 15 courses from each of them, right? So that gives you more in-depth training for that. But if you want to have more flexibilities or other options, then 1 major and one minor, that's also the way to go. Yeah, so it really depends on how much more you want to dip into that. Yeah, and perhaps also your own career planning, what you plan to do. Do you require that kind of major training, or a minor would be sufficient for that? Yeah.
So if I was admitted to a major in the application and want to change to another, do I need to go through another application process, or is declaring another major enough? Is it guaranteed? Yes. So what you indicated as your preferred major in your application to NUS is just an indication of preference. So what you declare through your APD, the academic plan declaration, that is what becomes your major, okay? And within FASS, so the only exception is kind of restricted majors and minors, right? For those, you cannot just sign up, but within FASS, we don't have restricted majors and minors, right? So you can just sign up basically through your APD, and yes, it is guaranteed. So what you sign up for through the APD becomes your major. Yes.
So for all the questions related to APD, Dr. Zhang will be talking about that soon. So just hold on for a second. So maybe we take 1, 2 more. We take one more. Can I double major and take a minor? Double major means doing first major and second major, and then a minor. That is possible, but then you will likely to exceed the 160 units for that, because your UE is 12 courses, right? And the second major is 10 courses. A minor is 5 courses. So you are likely to exceed the 160 degree, although there is some double counting allowed. It's double counting allowed. So yes, you can do 1 second major and 1 minor for that, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I want to emphasize the difference between double major and double degree, right? So double degree means 2 different degrees, right? And basically you're doing 2 primary majors, basically, right? So that is taking 15 courses for each, right? But if doing a second major, primary major and a second major, that is different, right? Because for a second major, you're just taking 10 courses, right? So I guess if you say double major, it's a little bit kind of tricky what you mean by that, right? So you either mean a double degree or a second major, right? So please bear in mind that difference. Okay, I think we might need to, just one more, okay.
What's the LPP course?
Program for language.
The modules, you assign them a module that doesn't clash with the other.
Yeah, yes, do not clash. Yeah,
So that's also related to what you'll be talking about.
This question will be answered by Dr. Chang soon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good morning to all of you. If you want to take 2 seconds to just set up and stretch yourself, please go ahead. So I'm Daniel Chan. I'm Assistant Dean of Undergraduate Studies, one of the Assistant Deans, and I'm also concurrently Senior Lecturer of French at the Center for Language Studies. So if you have any questions about language studies, you can also ask me after the... okay, so I'll be talking to you mostly about NUS course registration system, or CourseReg system. And okay, so when I speak, I might accidentally say the word module instead of course, and that means that I've made a slip of the tongue. Module is the old word for course, so if you hear the word module, it just means course, okay? So, now you have, this is a refresher of what you saw earlier, the common curriculum of the College of Humanities and Sciences. So if you remember, there are 3 parts to this, okay? If you remember what they are the core courses, then the integrated courses, and the interdisciplinary courses, okay? So there are a total of 13 courses, and 13 courses makes how many units? Times 4? 52 units, okay? So of these courses, common courses, you have these 6 pillars, common core courses, and then you have, of the 4 integrated courses, they are mostly Asian Studies, Humanities, Social Sciences, Scientific Inquiry, and 1 and 2. And then the 2 inter-D courses are 1 and 2, like this, okay? Now, of all the courses that you have to do, there'll be some that are pre-allocated, and there'll be some that you have to select yourself. So those that are pre-allocated, how are they pre-allocated to you? You must, of course, indicate what your declared major is, or else we can't pre-allocate them to you, right? So for pre-allocated courses, you can see there that there are, it depends on what kind of courses they are. If they're integrated courses, there are 4 out of the 5, right? 4 out of the 5 that are pre-allocated to you. The last one, the ID course 2, is not pre-allocated. You have to select yourself. And then as for the common core courses, there are 6 of them, right? Of the 6, 3 are pre-allocated to you, okay? And then there's a gateway course that is pre-allocated based on your declared major, first major. If you don't declare, then we can't pre-allocate to you, and you have to select yourself later on. Right, so you can see that the course codes end with A for Asian Studies, H for Humanities, I for Scientific Inquiry, and S for Social Science, and so on. Okay, so how are they pre-allocated to you? Of the 4 that are from the integrated courses, we will pre-allocate 2 randomly to you first, and then the remaining 2 will be in the second semester. From the common core courses, there will be 2, okay, of those 2, data literacy and design thinking. So any one of those 2 will be given to you in semester 1, and the remaining 1 will be in semester 2. And then the writing course that everybody has to do, we will do it either in semester 1 or semester 2, unless you have been told that you have to do first ES 1000 or ES 1103, which are prerequisites, which you have to do because you need to bring yourself up to mark before you can do the writing course. And then, of course, there is the let's see, what's this? What's the word there? Gateway courses, thank you. Gateway courses, then they are first pre-allocated based on your pre-declared, your declared first major. Okay, so notes on pre-allocation. Okay, I already mentioned this, right? Of the 4, you'll be assigned 2 in the first semester and another 2 in the next 2 semester. Okay, I'm just repeating myself, so I'm not going to repeat myself again. Okay, if you're in certain programs, like let's say you are in a college, NUS college, one of those residential college, and you're doing some of those courses, then you'll be pre-allocated those courses there instead. All right? As for gateway courses, gateway courses are pre-allocated based on your declared major, and they are prerequisites to those courses that you want to, those majors that you want to take. So they'll be pre-allocated either in semester 1, and if they're oversubscribed, then you'll be given that in semester 2 instead. Okay? if you have, okay, in order for us to pre-allocate those courses to you, you must have, of course, first declared your primary major before a particular date. Take note of this date, 17th of July, 12 noon. Now, if you have not declared by then, it doesn't mean that you can't do a primary major and take those courses. It just means that you have to go in and select yourself. It will not be pre-allocated to you. Okay? Now, subject to quota availability, of course. There's this thing called academic plan application and academic plan declaration. So, there are two different things, APA and APD. The exercise begins on 15th of July. APD basically means that you have to declare what your primary major is, open second majors and open minors. It means that they don't require any approval from the departments. You just need to take those courses and then declare that you are going to do those majors and minors. But if it's restricted, it means that you have to apply for it and the department has to approve. There's a quota for it, and the best, of course, will be allowed to do those second majors and restricted minors. Now, the declaration takes place every semester before the course registration, so that we know what course to pre-allocate to you. And the application takes place during the reading week of each semester. So reading week means the week after week 13, right? These are the dates that you must take note of. Now, there are 3 rounds of course selection. We'll explain that in detail later. But the declaration begins on 15th of July. You select courses for 3 weeks, and then you select tutorials, and at the end you can swap or add tutorial groups. Now, are there any questions? Maybe I should just show you the QR code for you to scan in case you have questions in between. This is the QR code. I'll give you a minute. Okay, now let's go back to where I left off, which was the dates that you need to take note of for declaration and application of your academic plans. Now, declaration has been done every semester. Okay, it's necessary for you to participate in CourseReg, right? If you don't tell us what your majors or minors are, we cannot pre-allocate the courses to you. And it has to be done at least 24 hours before the round begins, okay? And this, of course, can be changed. If you decide halfway through that you want to change a second major, you can do so, provided it's not a restricted major. You're not allowed to change your declaration within the semester once you have submitted it. So be careful, make your wise choice, and don't change your mind afterwards. To do your declaration, you have to go into the system. On the My EduRec page, homepage, you will see academics, the one on the left, bottom left on the first picture. And then you click on academic plan declaration. Okay? You can find a guide online. You can follow that accordingly quite easily. Now, you have this page that is very useful. It's called nusmods.com, where you can simulate your timetable. So you can add in all the courses that you want, because what you want to do is to make sure that there are no clashes between your courses. We strictly do not allow clashes between courses, and if there's any clash, then you have to drop one of them. Okay? So you have to simulate your timetable. You will be given, you can do that ahead of your course registration dates to see what the timetable looks like before you go in and choose your courses. So I already mentioned you're not allowed to have any clashes in your courses, between your courses, and this applies to the components of the courses, because some courses have lectures, tutorials, labs, and you must make sure that none of these components clash with any of the other components of the other courses that you are going to be enrolled in. Okay, so you must make sure that you are registered in all the components, or else you'll be forced to drop that course. Now, the workload policy, you must have a minimum of 18 modular, 18 units, sorry, MCs means units. You need a minimum of 18 units per semester. Okay, 18 units corresponds to about 4.5 courses, okay, because average is about 4 units per course. So 18 units per semester, minimum. And if you are in your first semester of your university career, you are allowed a maximum of 23 units, okay? Now, from the second semester onwards, you start to have a GPA. That's when you can have more than 23 units, right? So the first semester you can have between 18 and 23. And after that, you can have between 18 and more than 23 if your GPA is more than 2, right? If it's between 2 and 3.19, you can have 26 units. And then if you have GPA up to 5, you can have up to 32 units for the next semester. Exception for those of you who are in the double degree programs and concurrent degree programs and residential colleges, you can select up to 27 units. Okay, sorry for the typo there. It should be units and not MCs. Units. Now, things to note. You will not be selecting many courses in your year one because, why? Because most of your courses are already pre-allocated to you. You notice that of the 13 courses for the common curriculum, you already be doing most of them in your year one, semester one. So you don't have much choice space left for unrestricted electives. So if you're doing, let's say, LPP, somebody mentioned LPP earlier, you can only choose LPPs, you can only choose the lecture groups or tutorial groups that do not clash with your common courses. Okay, these are the dates that you have to declare your major in order for the courses to be pre-allocated to you, the gateway courses, and you must declare your major by 21st of July in order to be able to use the CourseReg to choose those courses if you do not declare your major by 17th July. Okay. In the system, you will see a number of functions. So these are the functions that you will see. View my classes, that's when you can click on to see what the classes you are already enrolled in. The important one is the third one, select courses. That's where you register for your courses. The next one there is not applicable for you. And select tutorial labs, that's when you choose your tutorials and labs after you have registered for the courses. Add swap tutorials labs, that's where you add and swap, when the select tutorial round is over, that's towards the end of the selection rounds. Then there's drop courses. Now, it's important that there are two drop cutoff dates that you must take note of. There's a cutoff date before which you must drop the course, otherwise you will get a W. And there's a drop-off date before which you must drop the course, or else you get an F. Okay, this is shown here. Sorry. So basically, before the recess break, you will drop the course. You will get a W, and if you drop the course after the recess break, you get an F. Okay, and then there's a cutoff point somewhere between the second or third week where you can drop, and then you'll not be registered in your transcripts. And then there's submit appeals and inquiries, so you can submit your appeals. Regarding this submitting of appeals, you must be careful that there are types of appeals that you have to select. Okay, I'll talk about this in a little while. Now, how do we allocate courses to you? Let's say, for example, everybody wants to take this very popular course. And is it based on first come, first serve? It is not. It's based on a priority score. The priority score is basically a multiplication of three components. But how important this course is it is to you? To our program, how is it required in your program, how senior you are in your academic career, and whether you chose this course as a first, second, or third choice. Okay, and you get a priority score. So, for example, this shows you the ranking of the programs, right? If you are taking this course as a residential course, then you'll be ranked right on top. And then if you are doing it as a major essential, it'll be second rank and so on. And down to the UE, unrestricted elective, where it's the lowest priority. And then if you are about to graduate, you'll be given the highest number of points. And you just started, you'll be given the lowest number of points for B. and then C is the ranking that you have given the course. So, when there are ties between two students, this is when the same priority score is obtained from two students, and the demand exceeds supply. Then, okay, we'll consider, with decreasing order of consideration, students who have not attained minimum workload, we'll give them the priority. And if the home faculty is also the course host faculty, okay, then you'll be given priority. Course feedback points. At the end of each semester, you'll be asked to give feedback about the course. And if you give feedback on those courses, you'll be given points. And those points will count towards this course feedback points. Also, we ask you sometimes to tell us whether you intend to do certain courses in the coming semester. And if you take part in those exercises, it will give you CPEX points, and those points will also count towards tiebreakers. And finally, if all things being the same, we'll resort to random balloting. Now, so this is a hypothetical scenario. Two students have selected a history course, and one of them is a history major, the other one is a sociology major, but second major in history. So who do you think will be allocated the course in this case? Is it Sam or Jan? Okay, because Sam is a history major, so he needs the course more than Jan does. Another situation, Ariel and Belle have both selected the psychology course, and one is a life science major, the other one is a social work major. Who gets the course first? Why Belle? The same home faculty, right? So, right. So the home faculty is the same as the course host faculty, then will be given priority over that tiebreaker. So there are 3 rounds to select your courses. The first round is to protect the course. Those of you who need the course for your own major, we want to protect. Make sure you get those courses. You will be given priority in that round 1. And then, of the 3 rounds, you notice that they are about a week apart, and each round is about 2 days. Okay. So round 1 is for you to fulfill your program requirements, whether it's faculty, major, or specialization requirements. And round 2 and 3 are generally open rounds. Anybody can select those courses when the students who have to take those courses have already taken their first dip. The guide to CourseReg is available online. You can find this easily on the website. And okay, you will notice this as you go in to check how many vacancies are available for the courses. You will notice this word vacancy and vacancy students selected. Vacancy obviously means how many spaces there are left in that course. And students selected, that's the popularity of how many people have been taken in for that course. Okay. Now, if you see a vacancy course with 0 vacancy, then it means that you cannot choose that course anymore. This thing about reserve classes, when you select your courses, you're allowed to select certain courses as reserve courses. That means you are afraid that, okay, in case I don't get these courses, I will be able to at least get something of the reserve. If you put a course within the reserve courses, those courses will not appear in the number of students in the number of students selected, because the number of students selected, the popularity will only take into account students who have chosen the course not within the reserve, within the main list, right? So it's to indicate the next preferred course in case the main list course is not successfully selected. Okay, so the 3 rounds are this. 13th of August, you have round 1 for tutorials. These are for tutorials, sorry. So tutorials, round 1 is 13th of August, and then 2 days later, round 2, and a week later, you can add, drop, or swap tutorial groups. So in order to select tutorials, you must first of all have been allocated the course with the lecture group. earlier on in the question and answer of the earlier session, somebody asked, what's the meaning of LEC and then in square brackets 1? It means that is the group 1 lecture time slots. Because if you see 1, it could mean that there could be a 2, right? It could be a 3. So if you see just 1 alone, it does not mean that there's only 1 lecture group, unless there's only 1 and there's no 2, right? So LEC 1 means that's the time slot for lecture group 1. Right. So you must first of all have a lecture group registered. It's not first come, first served. It's based on the priority score. You need to decide for yourself what the courses you want, and then rank those courses in order of importance. This is for tutorials. And if the demand does not exceed supply, you will get allocated all your tutorial groups. If the demand exceeds supply, then you'll be balloting at random. This is for tutorial groups. Now, how do you rank your tutorials? Be careful. What's wrong with this person who ranked his tutorials? What's wrong with this? Why is it incorrect? It's basically all is ranking on this one course alone, right? So you must make sure you spread out your ranking across the different courses that you are applying for. After select tutorials round 2, okay, during the add swap period, you can add or swap tutorial groups if there are if you can swap if there are other students who want to swap with you. And adding will be based on first come, first serve. If there's a vacancy left in any of the groups, you can submit an appeal, right? Let's say you cannot secure a tutorial group after the add swap period, then what do? You can submit an appeal, and the department can see if they can accommodate you. If they cannot, then you have to drop the course, unfortunately. Right? If you don't drop it, we will drop it for you by week 5. Okay, how to check your courses? This is, I've mentioned earlier, in the CourseReg system, you will see view my classes. Okay, and if you have done after each round of CourseReg, you can go in 1 day after the round has ended to see if you have successfully gotten the course. And dropping of courses, there are dropping of courses. You can drop a course so long as if after dropping the course, the remaining number of units is still within your minimum requirement, which is how many? 18, yeah. So after you drop, all the associate classes, including lecture groups, tutorials, and labs, will also be dropped accordingly. Okay, if you only drop 1 tutorial or lab, you will still remain enrolled in the course. And if you're not allowed to drop the courses after the F grade period has begun, which is after the recess week. Okay, so be careful of the W grade period. W grade period is you have to drop the course before recess week, and if you drop after the recess week, is F grade. These are the 2 cutoff dates, sorry. So the cutoff date for W grade is after 26th of August. And then this is 30th of September is after the recess week. You'll be given an F. Given an F means you cannot SU. Okay, and your GPA will be affected. If you are dropping it before the recess week, you cannot SU, but you can still see a W grade, which does not affect your GPA. Right, for appeals, you must submit the appeals through CourseReg. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you have to select the correct type of appeal. So you can see here, the appeal types can be, I'm unable to fulfill requisites for round 1 to 3. I have issues selecting courses. I have to change my admin allocated classes, maximum workload waiver, minimum workload waiver, and so on. Okay, so you must choose the correct appeal in order for us to process it. Do not submit your appeal more than once. Okay? Do not submit duplicate appeals. If you're not given a tutorial slot after the add swap round, then you have to submit an appeal through the system between these dates, 19th of August to 29th of August. And if you still do not have a slot, you might be given any slot on a random basis, so long as it does not clash with your current courses. Okay, if you have any questions, you can always check out the websites here. And you can also ask us at the end of this talk. And if you have any other questions, these are the numbers to call. And we'll see the questions that are on. So once again, the QR code is here. Yeah. Okay. You understand? Yes. For the first question, if you have, sorry, it's not a question, it's question 2. This one, yeah. So it means that if you have a spare space for 4 units, you can choose your own 5th course. Yeah, of course. Yes. Okay. That's done. For year 1, we don't have to select any courses, right? You have to select courses if you haven't met the minimum workload and that you want to do, a unrestricted elective in that semester. Is there a way to find out whether approximate? Oh, you cannot, right? There's no way to find out what the approximate priority score is. It's just based on the situation. If you opt for LPP, what would the core mods for 7? That's really the same question that was asked earlier. It will depend on whether your LPP, the language course clashes with your core mods, because your core mods come first, right? If it clashes, then you cannot take the LPP courses that even if it's already assigned to you. Double counting of units. Who can talk about?
Double counting means that maybe you have this course, G1, 2, 3, 4. It can be used to fulfill your minor requirement or major requirement. So there are courses like that that can be used to fulfill different kind of requirement. Yeah, so that's double counting.
Pre-allocated courses, time slots.
For pre-allocated courses, right, the lecturer group time slot is fixed, so you cannot change. But for tutorial groups, you can register for those groups that fit your timetable.
Will they be informed about who the tutors are before? I think you can check on Canvas who the tutors, the TAs and profs are before selecting. I think, I'm not very sure. Yeah. So that's it. Slides be available.
Some of these slides will be available to you, like for instance, the earlier presentation as well as this one, Dr. Chan. The others you will have to ask the presenters soon. But I can tell you the last presentation today you cannot get. Thank you.
The question about overloading in year 1, okay, if it's his first semester, your very first semester, you are allowed to take a maximum of 23 units. Okay, that's it. You cannot overload. But second semester, if your GPA is above 2, you can, yes. 2 or 3, I remember. Yeah, this is the same question that was already answered earlier. If your courses are already pre-allocated to you and you have no more space, then you cannot bid for any other. You cannot register for any other course. But if you have space left, then by all means.
If I'm not wrong, for LPP, right, the coordinator will choose a course that doesn't clash with the core modules. Yeah, so if I think a language module will be pre-allocated for students who are already accepted into the LPP, so you have to check with the LPP coordinator. For the course registration, right, it's over a few days, so you don't have to. You can do it anytime that you are available. For the camp, I don't think. I'm sure you have like some free time, so just like do the CourseReg during the free time.
For the FASS 1101, I don't think you're allowed to choose. You'll be allocated to it based on randomly, right? Yeah, you don't get to choose whether SEM 1 or SEM 2. Econs is a primary major, not directed.
Okay, so for BBA, the second major, right? Because it's a restricted second major, and BBA side they have their own requirements. So you have to go to the BBA website and check for the application window, and also if they require you to actually clear any courses before you apply. So same for second degree, because the BBA second degree will be administered by the B school. So do check with them. Can I clarify which CHS core modules you are referring to? Whoever who wrote it. Okay, so just to clarify for CHS, right? Both FASS and FOS, you all come under CHS lah. So we all will have the same priority in terms of the faculty.
Question about week 0. Week 0, there's usually no course. Everything starts week 1. Oh God, jumping so much. For UEs, can I take a higher level than 1,000 as long as the intro course is not a prerequisite? There's no prerequisite for 1,000, yeah.
For the UEs, there are level 2,000 and above. If there are no prerequisites, then you can take them. But if there are prerequisites listed on the NUS mods, you have to clear the prerequisite first.
If you are pre-allocated only 4 courses in the special programs, then you still CourseReg, like I mentioned here. Means you follow the procedure. Is SEP credit bearing or SU? SEP should be SU, right? It's credit bearing and SU. Yeah, both.
For SEP courses, you have to check with the SEP team later, because we don't process the SEP, but usually the SEP courses you will get an exempted grade. So the exempted grade does not have like a grade. So you don't have to like use the SU on the SEP modules.
About LPP, you can inquire with the Center for Language Studies. You can search online for the email and you can write in to ask. Somebody asked about first lesson of the courses. It depends on the faculty, on the department. So you have to check for each course when is the exact first date, right? Oh yeah. Okay, so if you want to do a 2-unit course, you can. So long as you have met the minimum and not exceed the maximum. The CourseReg dates are not changeable. So if the clash, you just have to find a way to go online and use your phone, mobile phone, and do it. For residential programs, you have to check with the residences themselves. We can't answer that on their behalf. Priorities go for both majors. Yeah, okay, so you want to do a double major, it depends on what your primary major is. There'll still be a primary major and a secondary major, right? So your primary major will still prime over the secondary major.
Usually, most I think for most of the double counting, we allow 8 units, 2 courses. So that's 8 units, about two courses. Yeah. So again, depending on the courses that are you using a fulfill major or fulfill minor for that? Yeah.
You won't know which semester you will be pre-allocated. The writing module is random.
Yeah. Stop, right? Yes, we're going to stop. Okay, we're going to stop. Thanks a lot. We'll stop here, and then if you have any more questions, you can ask us separately. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chan and the whole UG team. There is a lot of information and a lot of questions as well. But don't worry, there is time for you to figure some of these things out as time goes by, and there are also people that you can ask. Okay, so you can write in to the UG team. If you have any other questions, you can ask them right now as well. But for now, we are going to move on very quickly to a different kind of topic. So we are looking at careers and thinking about your career and your life after university. Okay, and so for that, we have with us our careers team at FASS. I think they are getting set up, so we will pass over to them quite quickly. But if you have questions about the courses, about the beginning of school, you can come and ask our friends in the undergraduate team. Small plug for our socials. So you can follow our FASS community through various platforms. You can scan the QR code, go and follow us. So you can keep in touch with us and find out what's going on as well in the faculty. Okay? Okay, I think we are all set. So I'll pass the time now to our careers team, to Wai from the careers team. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Wai from the External Relations and Student Life team from the FASS Dean's Office, and I will be your presenter for this segment of the presentation. As the name suggests, the title is Careers in the Making. So basically, we are sharing with you how we will be facilitating your career planning throughout your 4 years of academic journey with us. Okay. Okay, just a very quick roundup of what we will be sharing, because we have a very short 30 minutes time slot to do our presentation. So do pardon us if we have to run fairly quickly. So we will have a very quick introduction of our team, followed by an overview of the Career Compass series, which is the key career preparation initiative that we will be focusing on for this presentation. Followed by a senior sharing session. We have actually invited a senior of yours, an incoming second-year students from Communication and New Media, to share her learning journey with us. So, and then last but not least, there will be a Q&A. So this is the Q&A code, which you can scan right now. What happened is that you can submit your questions at any point in time during the presentation, and we will try our best to cover all the questions at the end of our segment. Okay? Now, in the event you scan in and you realize that you encounter a message like that, just click skip for now. That should solve the problem. Okay? So I will move on. We will show the QR code later. Okay. So today I'll be the one who are doing a presentation to all of you, followed by Janelle, who is your senior, who will be doing her sharing later. And a very quick introduction of the team. The External Relations and Student Life team is actually headed by Associate Prof. Nicholas Horn, who is our Vice Dean. Unfortunately, he cannot join us today because of an overseas engagement. And together with him, overseeing our team is Dr. Norman. Dr. Norman, you introduce yourself already? Okay, Dr. Nama is here with us. So external relations and student life has a lot of front-facing units covering different areas such as graduate employability, alumni relations, development, and student life. So myself, Regina, who is sitting here, as well as Beatrice, she's not with us today. The three of us will be managing all the career preparation initiatives and activities for our CHS undergraduate, or specifically FASS students. So we are supported by a team of highly professional career advisors from the Center for Future Ready Graduates. They are located in FASS, and they will be the one who will be taking care of different specific majors of students. They will be reaching out to you shortly to introduce themselves and to share with you some of the upcoming activities. So do look out for their emails. Some of them are here today, so I will just quickly introduce them. We have Lucian, are you here? Yeah, he's standing behind. And then we have Raymond. Raymond is not here, okay. And who else? Rebecca? Yes, Rebecca is behind with me. And Kam Hong, I think he's here today, right? Yes, correct. Did I miss anybody? Jolene. Oh, yes, sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah, okay, Jolie is here today with us. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, we handle a lot of career preparation initiatives, but in the interest of time, I can only share one with you, which is a key program that it is compulsory for you to complete, which is the Career Compass series. So what is this all about? It's actually a career preparation initiative tailored for CHS students. Okay? It encompasses 4 carefully designed courses that is aligned with our 4-year career readiness roadmap. So at the end of the day, what happened is that we will assign 4 courses to you from year 1 to year 4. And throughout these 4 years, you will be recommended to do a series of curated lists of activities that will help with your career planning. Okay? So how does it benefit you? First and foremost, you will be embarking on a journey of self-discovery. Okay? First, understanding what is your career interest and aspiration. And then working alongside with you is a career advisor who will help you to plan and customize career preparation plan. Okay? And thereby slowly acquiring, a different industry knowledge and the skill sets required, to make you stand out in the market. So our aim here is to basically enhance your graduate employability, which is essentially the name of our team. Okay, ensuring that you guys not only graduate with a degree, but at the same time also, stand out in the job market against other competitors. I don't think I need to share with you why it is important for us to introduce this program to you. You are all aware by now the job market is evolving and is forever getting increasingly competitive. So it is important that you start your career planning early so that you are well prepared by the time you graduate. Okay, so the key thing is start with the end in mind. So basically how does it work is that we will allocate 1 course to you each year. So it's a pre-allocated module. You don't have to do anything at your end. Okay, at the start of every academic year, we will allocate the module to you. And it will go across 2 semesters. It's a 1-year program. So you have ample time to do it. And you will be graded on what we call completed satisfactory grade upon successfully completing the task for each year. So I will quickly run through the modules with you. So since you all of you are freshman year, so you will start with HS 1401. And then as you progress along will be 1402, 1403, and 1404. The plan is that, each year built on the last, so that you have a very clear sequence, okay, from, understanding your career interests, to working out on your career plan, to developing your, industry knowledge and acquiring the key skill sets to stand out, okay? So once that module is allocated to you, which you will be able to see via Canvas, you will see a list of recommended curated list of activities to choose from, okay, to help you with your planning. There are a lot of activities that we recommend to you, so basically you can have a choice of what you want to do, depending what is your interest and what you think that is something important to you that you need to work on. So let me quickly run through each module with you in a little bit more details. So HS1401 is your foundation. Now, within HS1401, as I mentioned, there will be a list of activities we recommend. But if you want something that will help you to quickly accumulate the points in order to pass, because each activity will give you some points, and you need to accumulate at least 100 points to pass, which is something not difficult for you to achieve. Okay? It's just with some proper planning. That's all. Almost all of you should be able to achieve within the 1 year time frame, for that matter. So if you want to do one particular activity to fulfill HS1401, one recommendation will be to take the CFG 2-credit course unit, CFG 1002, which is a foundational career prep course that is, will go across 6 weeks. So if you have somehow a 2-unit MC available, this is something that you can actually consider for that matter, and you will be able to pass the module. And then the next will be 1402, which is when you're in your second year, it will be allocated to you, whereby you will seek industry exposure through the means of gaining industry experience, maybe taking some courses, or enhancing your communication skills, which are vital to your career growth. And then the third one will be about deepening your preparation for internships, as well as gaining overseas experience, maybe SCP or NOC. So for SCP, usually most of the students will take it either in the second or especially in the third year. So if you have any questions about SCP, you can actually write to this email address. It may be a bit small. studyabroad@fass@nus.edu.sg. Okay, you'll be able to find out more on the website as well. And for internships, we do have credit-bearing unique internships program available that is also facilitated by our team. All the information can be found on the website. So in the interest of time, I cannot go into details. But if you're keen to do a credit-bearing internship, you can go to the website to find out more. You can actually take part in it as early as at the end of your first year. Okay, for your matter, if you're keen to do that. There are other majors also have internship program, and it's compulsory. Specifically, social work, which is called practicum, and communication and new media. Okay, it's an academic requirement to do an internship or a practicum before you can graduate. But other than that, it is optional. Okay, depending on whether you see it as something vital to you as you prepare for your journey ahead. And the last part will be essentially about empowerment, okay? Developing your job search strategy, building your workplace skills, as well as developing your personal brand, all in preparation for entering into the job market, okay? So, as I mentioned earlier, the courses will be pre-allocated to you, and you should be able to find the course in Canvas, which is the NUS Learning Management System, sometime by the end of July. Now, in the event for any strange reason you couldn't find it, which is usually not possible because we will pre-allocate them to you, you can reach out to my colleague Beatrice, who is the Career Compass Series Coordinator, at this email address, beatrice@nus.edu.sg. Okay? So that concludes my presentation. And I will then move on to pass the stage to Janelle, who is our seniors, who will quickly run through and share with you her learning journey with us. Okay, Janelle? Oh, sorry.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Jonelle and I'm an incoming year 2 student majoring in communications and new media. Thank you for having me as part of the panel, and firstly a very warm welcome to all year 1s to NUS. As you start off your journey here, you'll likely feel a mix of emotions, be it excitement, uncertainty, nervousness, and that's perfectly normal. And I felt the same way when I was sitting where you are currently exactly a year ago. So university can be a very significant transition for many of us because besides meeting new people and having new expectations, many say that this stage of life is very important because it's the time for you to upskill and build your portfolio since when most of us graduate, we are most likely going to venture into the workplace. So in relation to this, university might be the first time that you guys are facing internships, and it's normal to feel very lost and maybe unsure of what to do. And that's okay, because many of us don't come into university with everything figured out. So I'm here to share with you my personal experience and how Career Campus in year 1 has actually helped me in my career preparation. For me, I took the polytechnic route into university, and I was also studying media. So in my 3rd year in polytechnic, as part of my compulsory internship program, I joined one of Singapore's digital news platform as a video content producer. The internship itself was very fulfilling, and I managed to learn a lot. But the thing is, my internship was actually arranged by my course coordinators or by my lecturers. And they basically submitted my resume for me, and I just had to go through an interview and a video test afterwards. So jumping into NUS meant navigating the whole self-sourcing and application process for the first time by myself. I was quite worried at the thought of handling things alone because I wasn't sure of what to expect. And some of you might be able to relate to my experience. I feel that university can sometimes be a pressure cooker. It's very competitive, and there's always that perception that we have to stand out in order to secure an internship position. So naturally, we will need our resources for help, and this is where your career advisor and your Career Campus series comes in. As for my experience in the module, I personally found it very helpful, mainly because it helped me to feel more aware about the things that I should prepare for and take note of when I was looking for and applying for internships. So in this module, you'll be able to utilize tools like VMock, which is an AI tool that evaluates your resume based on parameters like your language, your skills, and your presentation. And it will also give areas for improvement for you to make edits. It will also allow you to practice as well as prepare for your interviews, and gives you feedback on multiple aspects like your tone of voice, your eye contact, and your body language. So essentially, it gives you a platform to self-practice, and you will be able to know what to expect during an actual internship interview. Also, everybody will be tagged to a career advisor based on your major, and your career advisors are very experienced. So if you ever need any help in your career preparation, you can always approach them for a chat. And if you ever need additional tips, they can help you look through, like, say, your resume or your portfolio and give you any feedback. For myself, because I'm a CNA major, I'm tagged to Kam Hong and Rebecca, and I've seen them in my first year. They gave me tips on how to improve my profile on the university's internship portals like IAS and Talent Connect to increase my chances of getting an internship. So back in year 1, during my winter break, a government hospital actually reached out to me via IAS and offered me a project internship where I helped to produce videos for their nurses and volunteers orientation program. And I strongly believe that the help I received from Career Campus as well as my career advisors really helped me secure my first internship in university, because they taught me how to showcase my skills and experience in ways that can resonate with potential employees, which I otherwise really wouldn't have known. And this made me more confident in navigating the internship landscape. So as mentioned earlier, Career Campus is compulsory, but don't just focus on ticking it off your list in your first year and the subsequent years that you have in NUS. Go into it with an open mind, and I can say that it's really more than just a pass-fail module or two credit module for CFG 1002. Take this opportunity to explore your strengths, your weaknesses, and your interests as well. So try not to compare yourself to others, because everybody is starting on a different track, and everyone has different aspirations as well. University is more than just studying and completing modules, and I'm going to be honest and say that I'm actually someone who is very driven by grades, but I realize that it's also very important to take time to actually explore and discover more about who I am and what I want to do in the future. So I also feel that it's never too early to start preparing and figuring out what you want to do for your internships, or even what you want to do in the future. You can apply for and take up a few internships to discover what you really like. And for personal experience, I really didn't see myself in video production in the past. But after my polytechnic internship, I discovered that it can be enjoyable, and that's something that I'm looking to pursue in the future. So don't worry if you feel lost or if you need any advice along the way, because there are always people like your career advisors that you can look for in order to help you out. So I hope that my sharing has actually gave all of you an idea on how career preparation is like and how these courses can help you in your career preparation journey. And that's all I have for you today. Wishing all of you the best and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Janelle, for your sharing. So here's the QR code again. In case you have any questions that you would like to raise, you can just scan the QR code, or if you want to, you can also stand up to ask your question. Okay? We'll just give you a couple of seconds to do so, to key in your question. After this. Okay, maybe I'll take the first question first. I mean, you can add it if you wish to. Okay, are these courses credit-bearing heavy workload? Okay, the curated list of activities that we have prepared for you, not all of them are credit-bearing. Some of them could be just a talk or a workshop that you attend, and you are deemed to have accumulated the marks, for that task. But there are some that are credit-bearing. For example, just now I mentioned, or even Janelle has mentioned, CFG 102, the foundational career course that we would recommend you to take in your first year. That one is actually a 2 credit units course. And there are also other credit-bearing courses that we have recommended in the list of activity that you can choose to pursue if you want to. So the choice is yours. Heavy workload. Well, you have the entire year to accumulate the points. So frankly speaking, I would say that it's manageable, but I'm not sure, Janelle, do you think that the workload is heavy?
I think the workload is fine because for the modules that I'll be taking is to kind of prepare you for your internships. So as what I mentioned earlier, the workload for HS 1401 and CFG 1002, the gist of it is like you have to complete your profile on the internship portals for the NUS has for you, and then you can go for internship briefings and things like that. So I wouldn't say that the workload is heavy, but it kind of exposes you to the different ways that you can prepare for your internships. And I feel that it's manageable. So, yeah.
Thanks. Then I'll move on to the next question. Which website do we go to for credit-bearing internship? You want to show the website or? Okay. Basically, you just look for FASS internship program. You will be able to find the information required for we call it FASS IP. Okay. But if it's talking about social work practicum or CNN internship, you have to log on to the respective academic department website to get the details. So it's a little bit different, okay? Yeah. Next is, are there any career mocks pre-allocated to us? Well, HS 1401, 1402, 1403, and 1404 will be the so-called units being pre-allocated to you. Okay, but we don't pre-allocate the curated list of activities that we recommend you to take. Okay, the purpose is for you to run through and decide for yourself, what are the areas that you wish to find out more, what are the areas that you wish to strengthen yourself, and then you pick up that list of activity to participate accordingly. Okay, hope I have addressed that. Oh, psychology. Do we have any psychology prof here? Oh, Prof. Nicholson is not here today. Oh, what happened to that? If you're talking about clinical psychology, if you wish to eventually become a clinical psychology, the answer is yes. You need to do a master's in counseling psychology. Is there such a program? Yeah, there is. We do have a master's program. Yeah.
Sorry, can I see the question again? Okay, so for graduates of psychology. Oh, wait, let me read. Where's it go? Okay, to practice as a counselor, do we need a master's in counseling? Okay, hello. So I am the career advisor for all the psychology undergrads. So it's my passion, so come and see me. But so to answer the question, okay, so if you want to be a counselor, if you want to be a counselor, it's actually different from being a psychologist, right? So to be a counselor, you can do a master's in counseling and guidance. So that is available in NIE NTU. That's counselor. Huh? But if you want to be a psychologist, then yes, you would need to have a master's. And if you want to do counseling as a psychologist, you can also do that. So this would be the right course. And the counseling psychology course is available in NIE NTU. So both of them, both the full-fledged training for counselors, counselor wannabes, as well as psychologists, counseling psychologists, are both available in NTU. There is actually another master's course in NUS. It's a new one. I believe it's under NUS Mind Science Center. But I will talk more about that. Maybe if you email me, maybe I can send you a link. That allows you to do some mental health support as well. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Yes. But in terms of clinical psychology, NUS has. Okay, but I'll answer just counseling for now.
Thanks. Okay. Is it possible to secure an internship in my first year? Any tips for that? You want to answer that question?
Firstly, is it possible to secure internship first year? Yes, it's definitely possible. I think don't be intimidated by like going out into the workforce to explore what you want. Be your first, second, third, or fourth year. You know, there are many opportunities out there for you to explore, and shouldn't be limited by the number of years that you are in NUS to go out and figure out what you want to do or discover your interests. So, any tips to secure an internship? I think firstly, keep an open mind and actually be curious and explore the different opportunities that you have out there. There are actually many resources that are available to help you find or secure an internship. Like for example, there are weekly emails that are promoting the different internships that are available from NUS, and there are also Telegram groups as well where there are weekly Excel sheets that are sent out to everybody in order for you to get a sense of what internships there are out there for you to apply for. So I think if you really, really want to secure an internship, one way is you can look at them consistently, look at them every week, and if you're interested, just apply and go for it. I think there's no harm applying for more internships because in the long run, it will actually help you discover your interests and what you want to pursue in future better. Yeah.
Thanks, Janelle. Then I'll move on to the next question. What is the difference between credit-bearing and non-credit-bearing internship? Well, as the name suggests, if you're doing a credit-bearing internship, that means you will get credits for completing the internship. Okay, but our internship courses, at least for FASS IP, is under the unrestricted elective component, and it is graded based on a CSCU, that means completed satisfactory or completed non-satisfactory. So you can get the credit, and yet it will not have any impact on your GPA. Okay? And if you take it as a non-credit bearing, basically it's on a voluntary basis, so you can just go and apply for it and just do the internship. But the university or the school will not give you any credits for that if you choose not to do so. Okay? Applying for a credit bearing internship will take out a UE. Yes, it will. So you got to plan carefully. Any tips for CNN freshies? What tips are you referring to? I'm not sure. Or something generic, is it? Well, this one I got to pass it to you. Oh, skip already. Oh, sorry. You want to take this one? Okay, Ken. Sorry, are the 4 career courses counted in GPA? No. Okay, it will not affect your GPA. Okay? So I'll pass this back to you.
I would say just have fun. Don't I wouldn't say I wouldn't tell you not to pay attention to your grades, but your grades aren't the only thing that you should be looking at in your university. It's important, but because CNM has many different quote-unquote tracks, so you can discover many things, like there's video production, there's marketing, there's PR. So I think what's most important is go for the courses that you think you're interested in, just have fun and make new friends along the way. And I think that's also quite important as a CNM major. Yeah.
Thanks. So next question, AI assistant app called VMock.
It's not mod, it's mock, M-O-C-K. So this, yes, is an AI app, and we will introduce this to you at our first class in Career Catalyst. So make sure you sign up for Career Catalyst, CFG 1002.
Thanks. So is it too early to start your career planning in year one and only graduating in 4 years' time? The answer is yes, because indeed there are some jobs do require you to gain some form of exposure experience, which will put you in a better position when you compete for those positions. And therefore, if you could start planning ahead, knowing your career interests, start to acquire the skill sets, by the time you graduate, at least you will have a very strong profile to showcase to the potential employer. Okay, so that explains why we always encourage you to start early and do it with the end in mind. Sorry? Last question. Oh. What's the difference between Career Compass and Career Catalyst? Career Compass series is the entire 4-year career preparation initiatives that I've explained earlier that we have put in place for the CHS students. So you'll be allocated HS 1401 to 1404 in each of the year. Okay, and within each course, there will be a list of curated activity. Career Catalyst will be one of the many lists of curated activities that you can choose to take. Okay, and this happens to be a credit-bearing unit course as well. Okay, so they are separate, they are independent. They are just, Career Catalyst is just one of the many lists of activities that we recommend you to take for that matter. Okay, anything else? Oh, they're running out of time, is it? Okay, can. Maybe I just take the last one. How many credit academic units does an internship count? For FASS IP, depending on the length of internship, you can get as 4 credit units all the way to 8 credit units. Okay, and as I said, you can get the details on our website. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, career team. Okay, now we are going to talk a little bit about wellness. People are all leaving, but this is something really important for all of you. I think in your time here at NUS, some things will of course be a bit more straightforward. Some things can also be a little bit more complicated, a bit tougher, a bit more difficult. And it's important for us to understand how we can take care of ourselves and of each other as well. Okay, so I'm going to pass the time over to, we have one of our colleagues from the student wellness team from the Office of Student Affairs. So she's going to take us through some tips, and then we'll talk a bit more about what we have here in FASS as well. Okay, so let me pass the time over to Vijay.
Sure, thanks Mark, and welcome to NUS again. I'm very happy that the 10% of you that are still inside the LT is still here. Okay, so I once upon a time was sitting in your space in this exact LT as well and taking my lectures here as well. So it's a very strange thing to be at the front here instead of being where you are right now. Yeah. So my name is Vijay and I am a student wellness manager with the Office of Student Affairs. Okay, I have my 2 interns here. So yes, we also offer internships because I saw you're both writing down. 2 interns here who are actually your FASS seniors, and they are going into their last final year, right? Final year of their undergrad with psychology. Okay, so they are your seniors. I'm your great grand senior. Okay, I don't want to tell you how many great there are in front of them. Okay, so for you guys who are still here, no, the good thing is that you get a chance to get some merch from your seniors here, right there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, but must answer question now, huh? What do you think are the top 3 stresses faced by NUS students? Just now when I walked in, everybody looked very stressed, especially when you all were talking about EduRec and ModRec. I was just like, yeah, that was very stressful last time. But what do you think are the top 3? Anyone? You give me a wrong answer, I will still give you a prize because I will give you for your bravery and for still being here. How are you there in the red jacket? Yes. CCA. Okay, CCA. How about someone who is brave enough to raise up your hand? You there. Okay. Great. Okay, and you here in front. Career planning, right? Just after the CFGs, I also very anxious. Yeah. Right. So anything else? What else could there be? What if you go for a project group meeting and then halfway before the project group meeting end, half of your group members already left for lunch, like today? Tough, really tough, okay? Because that's one of the things that actually people think about. The first one, academics, definitely. I think just now we were looking at EduRec, can I take this unit? How if I don't get this? If I cannot plan properly, how? Career. I think just now I saw a lot of people writing very, very, very important notes. I saw the first row, wow, we're just writing. Okay? Group project, yes, because, yeah, halfway, you might have group mates that you may or may not work with, but of course, if you have Shang-Chi as your group mate, maybe you might have some superpowers. But these are actually the top 3 stresses that we have here in NUS, and this is something that we poll our students. We do a survey every year to actually ask our students, hey, how are you really feeling here in your time here at NUS? Okay? So, I'm going to give you some mental health statistics here in NUS, and it's not here to scare you or to frighten you, but brace yourself, okay? So 41%, okay, of our students actually reported having anxiety symptoms, yeah? And 41% might sound like, oh, is it you or is it me, right? Because the person next to you, or is it me? It's probably me, okay. Somewhat. But this is the thing is that we only look carefully at what we are saying here, reporting symptoms. So this is not a diagnosis, okay? It's very, very normal to have the feelings of anxiety. I'm not sure if some of you already watched Inside Out too. Sometimes your control panel get hijacked by some people, right? And here's the other one. 29% have also reported having depressive symptoms. Now that sounds a bit like, oh dear, I hope it's not me, isn't it? But you see, the thing of us telling you these numbers is not to scare you, because you may not fall into these numbers. In fact, these numbers have been falling year by year as we're going down since after COVID, which we actually really take pride in, that seeing our students coming back onto campus and seeing these statistics drop down as well is very heartening. But what we want to tell you as well, that even though you may not be in these 2 categories, you may have friends who actually fall into these categories. So I'm very heartened that you are sitting down here, because you, even if you may not be falling there and needing the help, you can help signpost your friends when they reach this point and they need that help for you. Okay? So, very simple question. True or false? We either have mental health or we don't. Giveaway, some super giveaway. And the guy there shaking your feet. That one. 1, 2, 3. Second one, yeah, you covering your mouth now. True or false? False, so clever. Correct, that's why you're an FASS student. Right, mental health is a continuum, okay? Like I was saying just now, right? Sometimes we do have healthy coping. And when bad things happen to us, we do react to things. It's not like bad things happen, hey, no, bro, I'm chill, so chill. No. When bad things happen, it is normal to react, okay? And this is where you can have self-care and also having your social support that works out well for you as well. However, it's when we move on further down, and when you feel like, hey, the symptoms are not just a little short time, it feels like it's an everyday preoccupation, where it really feels like, hey, I'm really moving on to the other side of the continuum, where it's poor mental health and sometimes even mental illness, that's when you really need professional help, okay? So it's really a continuum, and sometimes you will never be any at one point. You could move across the continuum at any one point of time, yeah? So if you are really, really affected by chronic stress, which as a NUS undergrad you will be, or having mental health conditions, what can you do? I'm here to actually introduce you to the 7 pit stop principles. These are actually, yeah, here got a lot of psych students, and I saw the questions. These are all actually evidence-backed, okay? And this is tailored just for our NUS students, right? So these 7 pit stop principles that we have here, like for me, my personal favorite is timeout. So 2 weekends ago, I was just in a concert and waving my light sticks around, and yeah, that's how I go out for stress relief. But I don't know about you. Maybe some of you might have been lucky enough to get some Taylor Swift tickets earlier this year. I don't know. Okay, maybe. Oh, some people are smiling. I think they got a, yeah, that's me. But you know what? NUS also got Taylor. I tell you why. You listen, ah. I cannot bring you a Taylor Swift concert. I bring Taylor to you. Please play, Taylor.
Welcome to NUS. Hey, I'm Taylor, a Year 2 engineering student. I had a great time in Year 1, but I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't always easy. Instead, there were some challenges along the way, and I learned that prioritizing my wellness was important. I want to share some tips with you so that you too can better manage your NUS student life. At first, adjusting to university life was challenging. The fast-paced environment, juggling between mods, group work, and making friends was overwhelming. By second sem, I started to feel a little burnt out. But with some daily practices, I was able to focus on my goals and make it through the year. How did I do it? Fortunately, I stumbled upon the 7 pit stop principles and adopted them into my daily routine. It helped me cope with stress, and I hope it'll help you too. P. Personal skills. Practicing mindful breathing, managing my schedule, and checking in with my emotions regularly helped me to manage the stress. I. Interaction. I didn't think I had time for a student club, but I gave it a try and joined Ultimate Frisbee through NUS Sync. I finally made some close friends, and this awesome bunch became my support throughout the entire year. T. Time out. After a long day, I like to relax and reward myself by watching Netflix. Remember to give yourself some time to rest and recharge. S. Sleep. I know that 7-8 hours a night is recommended. Going to bed early ensured that I was refreshed for my morning classes. T. Thoughtful eating. Eating healthy meals would last me throughout the long, hectic day. But, of course, I still love my sweets. O. On the move. I also exercise 3 times a week to get my endorphins up and to be ready for my day's challenge. Such as, running to catch the bus. P. Purpose. I also volunteer with a student club that supports seniors. Besides it being a blessing for others, it makes me feel so good too. Now, remember, PITSTOP. In fact, did you know there's a children's fun place called Pit Stop? And it's the perfect spot to rejuvenate between classes. Activities include dropping crafts, game to play, and they even have massage chairs. Or, if you just need a listening ear, caring peer student supporters and student wellness staff are there for you. Know that you are not alone. There is a whole support network at NUS. By practicing these 7 principles and prioritizing my wellness, I feel more confident and even more prepared for the coming years. Try out some of these tips for yourself. Then see you around campus.
Why, thank you, Taylor. See, I tell you that's really Taylor. Okay, so really we have lots of resources here for you at NUS, and it's really about being able to access it, okay? She might already told you a lot of things, but if you guys should already have that Universe app on your phone, you will need it when you finally get your timetables, your exam results, it will all appear there as well. But more than that, you can also download the widget, which is the peer student support, and also the pit stop widget that's already preloaded there. Okay, for the first one, for the peer student support, you can actually click on it and you can talk to a peer student supporter. So your 2 seniors here, other than being my interns, they are also peer student supporters, right? So they actually talk to people who sometimes feel like it's a bit hard to talk offline to someone, especially when it goes like, will somebody actually understand? And one of the things that you can really take confidence in is that these are all confidential and anonymous as well. So they will know who you are and you will know who they are as well. Okay, and the next one is also the pit stop widget. The pit stop widget, when you click there, there is everything that Taylor said. It's all there for you at finger tip. But also, if you really are seeking help, all you need to do is to click on it, and it will tell you the whole student support directory. Whether it is university level services or faculty level services, you will be able to find it there as well. So, like we said just now, you are really not alone. You have an entire network here to support you. Whether it is where you go after this, but throughout these 4 years that you're here, there are people here who will definitely be here to be on your side. Okay? So I'm from the student wellness team. And who are we? We're actually a whole group of mental health professionals with a background of counseling, social work, psychology, and psychiatric nursing. So we're always a friendly bunch that you can chat with, definitely. I hope I didn't look too intimidating just now when I pointed at you, hey, tell me what's the answer. But definitely we are really just here for, our essence of being here is really just being here for you. Okay? Where can you find us? You can find us at Pit Stop at UTown from Monday to Friday from 1 to 5. One of us will definitely be there. But more than that, if you really feel like, hey, I need to talk to someone, even before you start your semester proper, you can also reach out to us via email. Okay? Now, if you guys are living on campus, you will be happy to know that we also have residential wellness managers who actually work very closely with our residential life teams in the different hostels. All right? And of course, the peer student supporters that I was talking about just now. Okay, so who are they? They are just like you. They are just students. Students from all different faculties and different courses. They are all graduates of our program called Peer Supporting Peer. So any undergrad is actually open. Anyone can actually take this course. It is a credit-bearing course. So even if you say you are, let's say, something that's very obscure, what would be an obscure module? Oh yeah, I cannot say something in science because now some of you are taking cross-interdisciplinary. Let's say something, you might be doing something like Chinese studies, but then at the same time, hey, I also feel like I want to be there for my friends. And you can take this module as well, peer supporting peer. And after that, they are here, you will then serve as a peer student supporter and really be there for the friends and the peers who are around you, okay? And how can you connect with them? You can connect with them via the chat, online chat, on the many socials that they have, and also they are there at Pit Stop at UTown. Yeah, from 1 to 5, there will be a PSS there as well. Yeah. So keep talking. What's Pit Stop? Pit Stop, Pit Stop from just now and then now. What is Pit Stop? So Pit Stop is also a physical space, but it's not just any other student lounge. There are many student lounges that we have around NUS, but Pit Stop is definitely one that's different. It's designed intentionally for you to have rest. It's designed so that you will definitely do one thing and one thing only, rest, because it's a no study zone. Okay? No studying at all. If we see you study, we'll tell you, hey, there's a study table outside. Okay? Because we have currently 6 pit stops around NUS and 2 more suspiciously that's coming, and one will come very, very close to you soon. Yeah? So, like we said just now, there's really massage chairs and really all the karaoke machine, and yeah, it's very, very well used. So do come and visit us at Pit Stop at UTown. Okay, we also offer different kind of workshops. Okay, and you can see, yeah, really very, very fun things that you can do. I know you probably heard of your Wednesday afternoon off. So when you Wednesday got nothing to do, come over. Okay, can? So last but not least, you're gonna have a lot of time, fun time at Student Life Fair, where you get lots of free stuff. Like just now, your seniors are giving you out free stuff. Come and get more free stuff from us. Okay, during Student Life Fair, come and experience the Pit Stop experience for yourself. Okay, telling you how sweet it is nothing than you experiencing how it is. Okay, so come over. We have fun activities and definitely a lot more things that we would like to share with you there at the Pit Stop. So hope to see you there. Okay, so that's all from me, and I'll pass it to Mark, your SSM.
Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. We just wanted to take a couple of minutes to introduce ourselves. So my name is Mark. As I mentioned earlier, I am from the student support team here at FASS. So basically, we wanted to come and say hello and to say that there is faculty-specific support available for you, and that's handled mainly by us. So my name is Mark. This is Sydney. There's a third SSM as well. Her name is Lynn, who she can't be here with us today. But basically, we deal with mainly with issues to do with mental wellness, sometimes with financial aid, sometimes also with special needs. And so you should know that there are resources available for you, and you should also know that it is okay to seek help when you need it. If you are not sure, please come and look for us. Hang on, we've got a slide coming on. Yeah, so that's really the most important thing. I mean, the fact that we exist is of course one thing, but the more important thing is that you should feel comfortable and willing to come forward with the concerns that you have. Because university is going to be a time of change, a time of transition, and so sometimes unexpected things happen. So you can get in touch with us at fastsupport@nus.edu.sg. Okay, so that's the three of us, and we'll be in touch with you as well. Yeah. Cindy?
Yeah, just want to say a few words. So, apart from just the like the support we can provide you, our team also regularly organize wellness events, and then we also work with like the clubs and societies here to provide you like more welfare, more fun, and enrich your student life here. So do look out for it from this email address also. And yeah, we will be releasing more publicity in time to come, and hope that we can see you there.
Thanks, Sini. Yeah, the last thing we wanted to say is that obviously not everyone is here. The people who were here, at the beginning of our session this morning are all not here. But even with everyone here, not everyone from your entire class is here as well. So each of you here now have also become our ambassadors. So it's not just about helping ourselves, it's also about taking care of the people around us. So if you see a friend, a peer, a classmate who might be struggling with something, now you know that there is someone that you can come to. So please come forward and have a chat with us if there's anything any concerns that you have on your mind. Okay? Yeah. So thanks everyone. We are from the student support team. Now, okay. So now I'm back in MC mode. We're gonna have a little bit of a sharing by our colleagues at NUS Care Unit. Yeah. So I'll leave it over to them to share what they do and why that's important for you.
High school friends.
Hi, my name is Lydia. I'm from NUS Care Unit, NCU for short. I'm not sure if you heard of us. I don't think so. But welcome. First year, hopefully you enjoy your first year here. So, and briefly, before I go on, I will also show you a clip of what to expect. So this topic is a bit serious, but yeah, so just pay a bit more attention. Before I go into a deeper detail about what we do, I'll just show you the video first.
Imagine 4 high school friends entering college, excited about the opportunities the next 4 years have to offer. During their time in college, one of these 4 women will join a sorority. One will live at home and commute to class. One will aspire to get a PhD. One will study abroad. And, unfortunately, before they graduate, 1 in 4 will be sexually assaulted. Sexual assault is any type of sexual contact or behavior that occurs without affirmative consent. Affirmative consent is voluntary, enthusiastic, continuous, and communicative. Sexual assault and rape are far too prevalent at college campuses. 1 out of 16 men and 1 out of 4 women are sexually assaulted while in college. People of color, people with disabilities, and people who are LGBTQ experience higher rates of sexual assault and rape. 28% of transgender students are sexually assaulted. Regardless of the survivor's gender, the rapist is male 99% of the time. Repeat offenders commit an average of 6 or more acts of sexual assault. A majority of these rapists are fraternity members or student athletes. On average, fraternity members are 3 times more likely to rape than non-fraternity members. College male athletes represent 4% of the student population and commit 19% of sexual assaults. The biggest date rape drug is alcohol. At least 50% of college students' sexual assaults are associated with alcohol use. 80 to 90% of women sexually assaulted on campus do not report. University administrators
Okay, so for that video, it's supposed to be a 1-minute video. It's just to show you those numbers are taken from the American universities, but the numbers are not that far off as well on campus. So it's to let you know that there's sexual assault happening. It can happen to you, it can happen to myself, it could happen to anyone, regardless of who you are, where you're from. So it's just to talk to you about it, raise some awareness about what may happen around you, and to be aware of it. So our unit, so I'm from the care team. I'm one of the care managers. Our unit is made out of the care team, so there's about 4 of us, and also the research program and admin team. Dr. Sandy Lim is our director, and we are also, I think, supported by the medical, social work, and the legal board. So if anything, we do consult with them as well. So this is our services. So essentially what I'm sharing with you is if the case does come in, we do provide coordinated end-to-end care, meaning from the time of the incident to the time of investigation, the adjudication, and post-adjudication. What are these? It just means that if someone comes in and say, I want to report a case because something happened to me, so we do provide that support, like we talk to them, we do risk assessment, meaning we assess the risk and see what's happening to that client. We do safety planning to ensure physical and emotional safety, and we also do triage and referral, meaning if the client needs a referral to counseling, we do that on and off campus as well. So say if the case goes for investigation and adjudication, meaning report could be made to campus emergency security, CHS, or the police in Singapore. So we also do the accompaniment with them. Any medical facilities, like for example the hospitals, and then to the adjudication phase would be if there is a Board of Disciplinary hearing, then we also will be present with the client to support them, to provide the emotional and physical support if needed, the courts to speak to the AGC if the case has been heard. So throughout this process, we become the point of contact between the stakeholders and our clients as well. Post-adjudication phase, meaning what happens after the case there's an outcome of the case. We continue to provide the support for staff and students that we work with until they resign or they graduate. So we continue to do that for them. So we do understand why these steps, like end-to-end care, because this process could take a while, and that process itself can be very stressful. So we do understand. We do want to make sure that they are kept in the loop, no matter at what stage the case is. So other than casework, what we do is briefly, we also do research outreaches in the campus, and also collaborations and programs with on and off campus services. So for research, recently we have this campus climate survey that was done. I think we had 3 done, one in 2020, one in 2022, and I think recently one in 2024, where we do this survey so we have a better understanding of like the students' perspective on campus support surrounding this sexual misconduct issues. The more information is on the website. You can also go have a read if you are interested. So we also do orientation talks like today, and most importantly, we had this in conversation series and Denim Day that we do throughout the year. So in conversation series, we have 5 of them where we have dialogues with other professionals to talk about healthy relationship, healthy boundaries, and sexual misconduct. I think we had done 5 so far. Denim Day is held every year in April. So it's a campaign. It's a campaign to support and raise sexual awareness for survivors, and also to talk about these difficult issues as well. So every year, April, we probably have a booth. We can have a talk. We can come and support them as well. So for collaborations and programs, we do have collaborations with on and off campus social agencies and services, and One of them would be with AWARE, and the other one would be Project Parachute. Project Parachute is also done in conjunction with the NUS Pro Bono and NUS Student Safe, NUS Safe, yeah, something like that. Sorry, it slipped my mind. So this is essentially what Project Parachute means is it's a one-stop platform where if we have a client that wants to understand about the adjudication process, the legal process, so this is where we can provide that information to them instead of like going around seeking for legal advice and legal support. Our contact details. Okay, so we have walk-in services Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call us on helpline 6601-4000 for any consults or any questions around surrounding sexual misconduct. Can reach us on our email, and also there's this online portal, confidential help form. So it's private and confidential. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can. It's also so to reiterate, it's for student staff, bystanders, and witnesses as well. So anyone can come and have a chat with us if they're unsure about anything or things that might have happened and things that you might have seen. This is our website. Have a look. There's a lot of information there. Yeah. And any questions, you can also email us for any inquiries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We let you go. There's just 3 very quick announcements or things that you might want to take note of. The first is that, of course, this afternoon we have a bunch of department presentations, so you can check those out. Waiting for it to come on. Yep, and you can of course download the map at the link available. You can also just visit the orientation page on the FASS website and find out more from there about what's going on and where you can go to find out the information that you need. Next, if you'd like to follow us on the socials so that you keep updated on what's going on at FASS while you are here as a student, please do so. You can scan the QR code and follow us on all of these places so you you keep updated with what's happening. So even places like Spotify, is that where the podcasts and stuff go? Yeah. So you can follow us on the various platforms. Okay. If you could also help us to scan this and do a very quick survey, so that you can let us know about any feedback about today's program, so that we can improve it for your juniors who will come in the years to come. That would be fantastic. So if you can scan that QR code. And while you are scanning that QR code, also just to say that NUS overseas colleges, so our colleagues from NOC, these are people who organize internships that are overseas, that are really great learning experiences. They have a booth outside. So if you exit later by the back of the LT, toward the canteen, toward the deck, that's where their booth is. So go ahead and check out what programs they have and how you can also prepare and get involved with NOC in your time here at NUS. Okay? Yeah, so if you just take your time to do this survey, but otherwise, thank you all again so much for joining us this morning, and we'll see you again sometime soon in the next 4 years. Thank you.